Your smartphone is probably sitting in your pocket right now, and what most people don't realize is just how powerful modern smartphones are for filming. And yet, so many course creators will convince themselves that they need to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on gear just before they start, and yet they could be making 10 times that amount with what they have already in their pocket. So today I'm going to break down the minimum viable video setup that you need to turn viewers into paying customers for your program, and why aiming for perfect production is one of the most expensive mistakes that you can make. Hi, I'm Sam Foss. I've been working with the Authority.io team for the past few years, managing our video production. And if you're ready to start monetizing your expertise, make sure to comment monetize below and we'll happily send you our free Monetize YouTube from Day One playbook. So let's break down what you actually need. We call this the minimum viable video setup, and it's a lot simpler than you think. To make videos that actually convert, you pretty much only need 4 things. First of all, your smartphone. Not a DSLR, not an expensive mirrorless camera or cinema camera, just your smartphone. The camera technology in modern smartphones is honestly incredible. I kind of used to wince when I would hear people say, oh, you can just film with your phone, you don't need a full video setup. But today it's pretty much true. There are people who are using their phones for massive, massive, massive productions. And so for filming course content, your phone will be perfect. It has all the tools you need. The second thing you need is a basic microphone. And honestly, out of everything on our list, this may be the one thing that I would say is really worth spending more money on if you have the budget. With that being said though, there's plenty of great options out there for a lavalier mic that can connect right to your phone for between, I would say, like the $30 to $50 range. Now here's why audio is so important. Students will tolerate imperfect video. Maybe you have light blasting in on you. Maybe you have different stuff like that that just isn't perfectly dialed in. You don't have all your Rembrandt lighting and stuff set up. Who cares, right? The main thing is they won't forgive bad audio. If they can't hear you, at the end of the day, they can't learn from you. So you really want to make sure that they can hear you fully and understand everything that you're saying, as long as they can hear the content and get that transformation from you. Now, although I just said that they can excuse imperfect video, we are still going to try and get it in a really good place. So the next step is lighting. Now, you can use window lighting or even a simple ring light. Honestly, there's a lot of great options online for simple, easy to set up lighting kits. That'll do great. The main thing is that it's clear and people can see you, and it allows for your transformation to be a bit more effective when you also have a well-lit, properly lit image. So going through them, window light, it's free, it's easy, you just position yourself in front of the window. I would say that's your best option if you're just starting out and you want to keep your upfront costs as low as possible. If you're filming at night though, or maybe you're in a windowless room, a simple ring light or any sort of LED panel light will do just fine. Our fourth element is extremely, extremely important, and it's odd because we were just talking about the actual production side of things, but the actual transformation and clarity on your transformation that you're providing is the fourth key crucial thing that we need to keep in mind. It's not equipment, but it is the most important thing on our list. You need to know exactly what outcome you're helping your students achieve, because here's the thing. A $40 mic with window light and a smartphone to film and transformational insight will beat out a $50,000 setup with no strategy every single time. And yes, that's a bold claim, but we have plenty of examples that can prove it. Denver is a personal relationship coach who helps men save their marriages through personal leadership. In his first 30 days of applying our transformation focus method, he was able to generate $102,000 in revenue with just 96 subscribers. He didn't go out and buy a bunch of new equipment. He didn't even make new videos for his channel. He took his existing content, the videos that he made with his basic setup, and he reworked them with hyper-targeted messaging towards men in crisis who desperately wanted to save their marriages. He focused on personal leadership rather than couples therapy, and he added strategic calls to action in his existing videos. All of this resulted in $102,000 in 30 days with content that he'd already filmed. That's exactly what we mean when we say that your transformation is the biggest success factor here. If you nail that part down, your production doesn't need to be fancy to be effective. In this case, the precision of your message will always matter more than the resolution of your video. This is exactly why our approach is so simple. There's a common belief out there that you need professional level production just to be taken seriously or to have created something that is worth paying for. But that's honestly just not true. And look, I get it. I come from a filmmaking background. I love good lighting. I love good cinematography. But when you're a course creator and a business owner, that kind of thinking actually can work backwards. Good example of this actually is Sunny, our founder, and I want you to guess what her setup was. No tripod, books, stacked up books next to a window, and the window light, and that's all that she needed. And honestly, that's all that we really need. Anything extra, we can do that down the line, but to start and actually get the transformation going, literally books and a window light. And that's super simple setup. Again, no fancy equipment, just the basics. That's helped her build a multi-million-dollar business. So next time that you find yourself thinking that it's crucial that you upgrade your camera setup and get a whole bunch of lights and equipment just so you can look the part, it's really not. And in all honesty, it's just delaying your process. Waiting to get your perfect production setup together can really cost you. Each month that you're trying to save up for all of your gear and equipment is just one more month that your potential clients could be turning to somebody else for their transformation. The real cost here isn't money, it's opportunity. The people out there who need exactly the expertise that you have are not getting it just simply because you're stuck in production paralysis. So we lean into that simplicity to help you be even more effective. Our goal is to remove as much friction as possible when it comes to your production process, because then it allows you to focus on what actually matters, making your content valuable to attract your ideal audience. So let me present to you a nightmare scenario, which is honestly very, very common. You have C-stands in the corner, you've got a bunch of different lights because somebody told you needed 4 lights in order for it to look cinematic, and then you've got wires in the corner, you've got a lav mic somewhere. Your production takes about 2 hours-ish to set up every time, and you start to dread it. And when you dread it, you start putting it off. And when you start putting it off, you're making less videos, and overall, you're serving fewer people and learning far less. The solution? Make sure that you can have your full video setup done in about 5 minutes or so. Make it dead easy. Again, like we said, we're trying to remove the friction so filming is as easy as possible. So here's the advice that we usually give. Make one area of your place your filming setup. Don't move it around. I know a lot of people will go, oh, but it's a nice day. I'm gonna shift over all my gear and I'm gonna drag my tripods and I'm gonna drag my light stands all around my house. Makes it so much fun. Make one place your filming setup every single time. Keep it as is. Best spot with that is if you keep it as the same place, you can do things like you set up your light stand, you set up your tripod, put it in the corner of the room, leave it set up so that when you're ready to film, all you need to do is just walk over and hit record and you're ready to go. It's a 5-minute process, not an hour and a half or 2 hours every single time. Once you have your filming process dialed in, you're going to move on to the next friction point, which is actually filming. If you're uncomfortable on camera or maybe you feel awkward and stiff, guess what? You're in good company. There's a lot of people like that. I've filmed a lot of people over the years, and one thing I can say for sure is the people that you really wouldn't expect, the experts, the big talkers, the very confident speakers that you would never expect would be uncomfortable or embarrassed behind camera, are often the ones who are uncomfortable and embarrassed behind the camera. It just happens to everybody. Filming is an on process in itself, so don't feel weird or embarrassed or uncomfortable that it's not coming as naturally to you. It will. So here's a couple things that we find really helps. When you're filming, it's very easy to focus on the kind of performance aspect of it, how you're saying the lines and how you're saying all the different points that you want to talk through. But what we really want you to focus on is making the shift from focusing on performance to focusing on teaching. Because at the end of the day, you're not making entertainment content. You're not auditioning for a film or anything, so your performance doesn't really matter. It doesn't need to be perfect. Instead, just try and reframe it. You're teaching somebody something that you really know how to do. So it kind of reframes it from I'm performing this thing and I need to focus on how I'm saying this and all that. You're just focusing on you providing the information on the subject that you really deeply understand. Just think about the last time you explained something to a friend or a colleague. You probably weren't focused on the amount of hand gestures you were doing or how your face was looking while you were telling that information. You were just focusing on whether they understood the concept that you were trying to explain or not. That is the exact energy that you need on camera. And it really helps to inject some of your own personality into your videos, right? Like, we're not trying to copy your favorite YouTuber's way of talking and speaking. Just be yourself. In this case, you really just want to play to your strengths. If you're naturally enthusiastic, be enthusiastic. If you're calm and more methodical, that's okay. Be that as well. Just do what comes naturally to you. You really want viewers to connect with who you actually are, because at the end of the day, if everything goes right, that's who they'll be learning from in their course. They'll be looking to you. You want to be your authentic, natural self. So be yourself. Don't try to be somebody that you're not. And if you're still terrified or worried that you're not going to be confident in front of camera, here's the real secret. More reps. Just film. Do it many times. The more you practice, the more that you film yourself, the more naturally it'll come. It's just practice. Regardless of how much you plan, your first videos are probably still going to feel pretty awkward, but by the 10th video or even the 50th video, things will start to feel more natural. There is unfortunately no way to get around this. The only real way to get comfortable on camera is to be on camera. All right, let's get really clear on what matters most and what doesn't, because this is where so many people are wasting their time, energy, and money. I want you to think about the transformation versus information framework we talk about a lot on this channel. Remember, your coaching clients aren't paying for information. They can get that for free anytime on Google or with AI. They're paying for transformation, the specific outcome that they want to achieve. There's a really important concept in filmmaking, and it's the idea of motivation, that you choose your camera, your lighting, your lenses, everything based on the feeling that you want to get across in a scene. And we can apply the exact same thing to our content, because at the end of the day, when people are looking for, I want this camera because it's going to make it look so cinematic, and I want this lighting because I can make this look super dramatic and intense. Well, is that really what we want to see when we're looking for this content? If the viewer is coming to your channel and they're expecting to hopefully find somebody authentic who's gone through their struggles and understands their problems, and they find some dramatic Hollywood level thing, it's going to be harder to connect. It's going to almost strip you of your authenticity a little bit. So definitely something to keep in mind, that too much production, while fun and exciting, can actually have the opposite effect when you're trying to really connect with your audience and your ideal clients. So what do they actually care about when it comes to the production of your content? They obviously need to, first of all, hear you clearly. If you set up your phone and then you have no mic and you walk 40 feet away and then nobody can hear what you're actually saying, that's a real big issue. So that $40 lavalier mic that you can connect to your phone is going to be a great option. And honestly, if your audio is clear, then you're about 90% of the way there already. So next up, of course, they need to see you clearly. Main thing that we're aiming for, we don't need cinematic lighting or anything like that. We really just want to avoid big, harsh shadows that are covering our face. We want people to be able to see us fully and clearly. So setting up in front of a window, easy free light source, or just get yourself a cheap ring light. It'll do wonders, just as long as people can connect your face to your voice and you can start actually connecting with your audience. Next up is actually how you structure your content, not how you produce your content. They ideally need a clear step-by-step process. Make sure to break things down logically and show them what to do in what order. Next up is they need confidence in your expertise. Nobody's going to watch through your video if they don't believe that you've been exactly where they are and can get them to where they want to be. And you know what communicates that? Your clarity, your examples, your specific insights, not your camera brand. They don't really care about fancy animations or big elaborate graphics. At the end of the day, simple cuts are totally fine. Main things just to keep an eye on is just cut out any big gaps and pauses or anything like that. You want to get them through your information in a clear and concise way, but really you don't need big motion graphics and animations. Again, they don't need perfect lighting setups. As long as they can see you and take in the information and ideally connect with you, that's perfect. They don't care about professional editing techniques. Again, basic cuts, totally fine. Just cut the dead air and move on. And lastly, they do not care about your production budget and how much you've spent on your setup. The only thing they actually care about is, can they achieve the result that you're promising? That's it. That's the whole game. Here's a powerful example from somebody who's learned this the hard way. Darius is a filmmaker who has 457,000 subscribers on YouTube. Before working with us, he'd spent about 9 months working on a film that ended up being shown in film schools worldwide. It was the kind of production that a lot of filmmakers dream of making. He even had 3 sponsors that were funding it. And you know how much he made from it? $2,400 for 9 months of work. Then he created an online program using our method. He used a simple production setup and he focused on teaching filmmakers the skills they actually needed. His first launch, $22,400. Same expertise, simpler production, 10 times the income. He went from burnt out on the YouTube hamster wheel, chasing sponsors with 500,000 subscribers, to building a sustainable business teaching what he knows. That is the power of understanding what actually converts. It's not about impressing people with your production value, it's about transforming their lives with your actual expertise. So the real course creation production secret is this: your students need your expertise more than they need your production value. So give them your expertise. Start with what you have. Film with your phone, teach what you know, and serve the people who need what you offer. The equipment that you already own is plenty. You just need to start using it. So if you're ready to turn your expertise into a high converting online course, make sure to comment monetize below, And I'll send you our free playbook, Monetize YouTube from Day One. It's going to walk you through exactly how to structure your content for maximum impact, and it pairs perfectly with the simple production approach we've just covered. And if you want a full walkthrough of how to get your online program launched, check out our video of everything you need to launch a coaching program in 2026. That's where we dive into the exact steps you need to launch your program profitably this year by keeping it simple. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you there.